friends, my name is Antoinette Chanel and welcome back to my channel. Get in here because we got Sentebale updates, friends.
So, to recap quickly, in March 2025, both Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry resigned from the Sentebale charity, and they stated that their reasoning was because they could not work with the chairwoman of the charity, which would be Dr. Sophie Chandauka. And we got an explosive interview from Dr. Chandauka that was on some Sunday news program. You know, I'm bad at names, but that was where she made the claims that she felt that Prince Harry had bullied her, had harassed her, and that she felt that the princes were trying to force a failure of the charity by resigning and encouraging the other members of the board to resign as well. And at the time, we were told that the Charity Commission was going to be launching an investigation into the claims that Dr. Chandauka was making, as well as just reviewing what was happening with the Sentebale charity because there seemed to be unrest. On August 6th, the Charity Commission published its findings, and what they found was that there were no cases of harassment, discrimination, or bullying happening from Prince Harry or from Dr. Chandauka. No misogyny, no misogynoir, no overreach by both parties. But the commission also criticized both parties for allowing their conflict to play out publicly, which just jeopardizes the reputation, the standing of the Sentebale charity as a whole. The commission was quoted in Sky News as saying that the rift between Dr. Chandauka and Prince Harry revealed serious governance shortcomings within the charity, and that that's not good. And that pretty much echoes what I have mentioned to you before in my other Sentebale videos about how having this play out in the public is not a good look. It reflects poorly on Dr. Chandauka and it reflects poorly on Harry. Prince Harry's spokesperson described the findings as unsurprising but troublingly short. Harry's spokesperson also stressed that these findings would not be the burden of the people who were the subject of the probe, so Dr. Chandauka, Prince Harry, Prince Seeiso, but rather that the burden was going to lie on the children that the Sentebale charity is supposed to be benefiting. Harry's spokesperson was also quoted as stating that he likened the episode to a hostile takeover, expressing that the founders see no way back to Sentebale while Dr. Chandauka remains chair. On Dr. Chandauka's side, she welcomed the findings by the commission and said that they confirmed the governance issues that she was raising during her interview and in previous incidents leading up to this whole public rift between her and the two princes. Dr. Chandauka is quoted as stating that she has raised concerns about the governance of Sentebale privately. Dr. Chandauka also criticized the media campaign that came along with Prince Harry and Prince Seiso's resignation from Sentebale, and she said that it offered a glimpse into the unacceptable behavior of those behind the scenes. Dr. Chandauka's position is that Sentebale is emerging stronger and more focused on its mission than ever before. As far as a plan forward for Sentebale, I found this information that Sentebale has accepted the Charity Commission's regulatory action plan, committing to improved complaint and whistleblowing policies, clearer role delegations, and stronger internal governance. The Commission's regulators will monitor this process, and the Commission has reiterated that this whole rift has created reputational harm for the charity that will be difficult to overcome. And I just can't help but recall the comments that I was making to you in those other Sentebale videos that I did previously where I talked about this. I talked about how it does not look good if a charity appears to be untrustworthy in the public eye for whatever reason, because donations were mishandled, because there was misappropriation of funds, because there is a governance issue, because there is an issue with how the board is operating. You pick whatever the issue is. Nobody wants to see that nonprofits, charities have these issues publicly because that means that they can't be trusted. And as the landscape for nonprofits continues to widen and grow, we have more and more nonprofits joining the scene every single day. That just makes it that much harder for Sentebale to reach the donors that it is trying to seek out, to obtain the sustainable rate of donations that they need in order to operate optimally. And so as we talk about the future of Sentebale, it really does hinge on whether or not they will be able to restore the public's trust. And unfortunately for Dr. Chandauka, I'm not so sure that that can happen while she is the chairwoman. And this isn't my criticism or like suspicion of her necessarily. I believe that there were probably things that were happening on both sides, so from the side of the board and the princes, as well as from Dr. Chandauka's point of view, and I laid out a lot of those viewpoints in the last video that I did about Sentebale and their funding. I've talked about Dr. Sophie Chandauka's experience before. She is definitely not new to this. She has experience working for very prominent companies and working for companies that also have a public presence to maintain. So it's not that she is lacking the skill or lacking the experience, but I think her position is a precarious one because now these problems and this shakeup has happened under her watch, so to speak, under her leadership. That looks bad. And I think that as much as we champion for diversity and wanting to see the faces of people who are not white, I believe that Dr. Chandauka's position as a Black woman in this unfortunate position that she's in right now with leading a charity that's had a public rift where these two princes led a media campaign to sort of make it seem like she was the problem, but then she decided to counter that with her own actions. I think all of it just comes out faring poorly for her because of her position as a Black woman. I think that it would be a lot easier for people in the public eye to forgive and forget if she was maybe a white guy or a white woman. Supposedly, Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry are working on ways to continue the mission of Sentebale separately from Sentebale in South Africa. I will certainly keep an eye and an ear out for any developments with that there. But I don't think the Sentebale story is over yet. I don't think that it will be over until Dr. Chandauka is no longer chair, unfortunately. I think that no matter what happens now, no matter how good her work is, no matter how much she's able to turn around donations and bring in for the charity, I think that the damage has been done, and I think that the verdict has been reached by the public, the court of public opinion. And so that's why I said a few months ago that I really didn't envy her for the position that she's in, just because you typically don't get a whole lot of grace, you don't get a lot of public sympathy, public leeway when you are a Black woman, unfortunately. So I don't see that going very well for her, but I do hope that she's able to make a turnaround and that this isn't a stain on her resume. And above all, I hope that the mission of Sentebale can continue for the children who need it the most. Those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me for another video, friends. If you liked the video and you want to, please hit that thumbs up button. That's very helpful for me here on this YouTube app. Also, if you're interested in seeing more content from me, consider hitting the subscribe button so that you can see my entire library of videos that I have here on YouTube and get notified when I upload new videos. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at the handle that's on your screen right there. Otherwise, my friends, I will catch up with you in the next video. Take care.